UK.
Welcome back. You're watching World 360 with me, Akanksha Swaroop, and let's begin this segment with the UK Prime Ministerial race. Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss are on their campaign trail, fighting to become the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. My colleague Sanjay Suri gets us more on Rishi Sunak's campaign trail and even speaks to members of the Indian diaspora who also happen to be members of the Conservative Party.
Meher, there's the elephant in the room or the elephant in the country nobody talks about. He's not white. A lot of Conservative members are white. They think white and they cannot think non-white. This is crude, and perhaps that's the one reason why people don't like to talk about these things. But do you think this will be a factor?
Well, I don't think so. That's my honest opinion. If that was the case, you would have heard David Cameron speaking about it probably 10 years back, around when he came and spoke in front of at Wembley that he has one of the largest diaspora of not only Indian but Asian population in his cabinet. We have broken that glass ceiling, and I don't think so color matters. It is the ability for people to come together, and the people in Conservative Party are matured enough. We are all looking forward to doing things in the right way and taking the country forward. Color is not the factor.
And would you say, what is it? We don't know exactly how many, but 150, 160, 200,000 Conservative members.
Yeah, roughly 200,000. Yeah.
Roughly 200,000. And you sincerely believe that a majority of them will be ready for Rishi?
Only time will tell, but I hope they are ready for Rishi.
Yes, we share the hope. And do you share that hope, or do you have that belief?
No. I believe that he has proven himself. I'm not saying that Truss is not good. They are both Conservative. We are Conservative Party members. So it is one of the, let the best person win. But I think there is a chance.
Let's quickly get in a sense of perspective in terms of what this race means for Rishi Sunak, and is the UK in fact even ready for Rishi Sunak? For that, I'm joined in by my guest, Mr. Maximilian Hess, who's a fellow at the Foreign Policy Research Institute. Thank you, Max, for giving us your precious time. It's a pleasure to connect with you. If I may begin with the report that's been making news, and that's the report by Smarkets. It's been making a lot of news because it's stating that Rishi Sunak's chance of becoming the next Prime Minister has shrunk to 10%, whereas Liz Truss is now roughly rated to nearly 90%. What is giving Liz Truss this edge over Rishi Sunak?
Thank you so much for having me. I think really what we've seen in the race so far is that Liz Truss has been able to take a lead by aligning herself with the right wing of the Conservative Party. She got fewer MPs nominations in the race to be in this final two that is then determined by the Conservative members, but she was pushed over the limit by really uniting the right wing and what's known as the European Research Group, a particularly pro-hardline Brexit faction of the party, and getting them behind them. And then we've seen in the debates, she's very much focused on this and promising tax cuts, whereas Rishi Sunak has tried to portray himself as the responsible, reasonable Conservative candidate who recognizes that inflation is a global problem right now and that the UK needs to exercise some fiscal restraint. But so far, it seems that message has not at all been well received by the Conservative Party membership.
Right. Max, Defence Secretary Ben Wallace has now decided to back Liz Truss as well. He's now being accused of angling for a job in the next government. How's that gone down with the popular sentiment as far as Ben Wallace's support to Liz Truss is concerned?
I think Ben Wallace still retains a lot of public support. When he said he wasn't running, he said he would be staying in the defense minister position given the crisis that's going on in Ukraine, the accession process of Finland and Sweden to NATO, and the general high-tension environment with Russia. And I think it's considered quite likely that if either Liz Truss or, in the end, if Rishi Sunak does find a way to convince enough Conservative voters to win, that Ben Wallace would likely remain in that position or even be a potential candidate for the Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss's current position.
All right, Max, my last question to you is that now many, including Conservatives like Lord Rami Ranger, are saying that UK will be perceived as racist if Rishi Sunak is not elected as Prime Minister. How do you assess such a claim?
I'm not sure that I think that that's fair. Of course, this election is just among the Conservative Party membership. But to be fair, we did see a number of candidates from a diversity of backgrounds make it into the final grouping of MPs chosen amongst their colleagues. I'm not saying that race isn't a factor. And that it wouldn't be a factor in a national election as well. But I don't think it's going to be the determining factor here by any means. I think it really is sort of around just the issues that resonate with the Conservative Party. Now, one can put racial aspects onto that and say that there's a reason for it there, but I wouldn't say race isn't a factor, but I don't think it's a determining factor here. The UK, as with many Western countries, has large issues of race for us to deal with, but I don't think Rishi Sunak winning moves the needle one way or the other.
All right, still UK has come a far way. Thank you so much, Maximilian, for joining our discussion today. And with that, it's a quick wrap of World 360. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back same time next week.